So when can we look for Black Death Resurrected, new music? Are you working on music? Or are you
Well,
just
we have
playing?
one album. Well, our latest album came out. When did that come out? 2016, was it?
Yeah,
2016. Right now, we're working on Breaking the Chains of Hell.
Okay.
And that's the third one. And we have new material, but it was so many other good songs from back in the day that never saw the day of light. So we're trying to have a healthy balance of some of those old classic gems,
Right.
like Sin After Sin, THC, and
others.
Okay, brain fart, it happens. Where are my notes?
When love strikes again. When love strikes again.
Oh yeah, and When Love Strikes Again. That was a song that should have been on the first. Some of these songs should have been on the first record, but again, as I mentioned earlier, I would Philip Bullard and myself, me and the drummer, were the only real true musicians in the band. Okay, Greg Hicks, he could play guitar, but he wasn't heavy metal level.
Right.
Okay, and it gets frustrating when you're involved in something and you can't go any further because some of the skill position players playing with you can't motherfucking pull it off.
Right.
And I tried to get Phil to come along with me, and but he wouldn't.
Right.
And they thought I did some type of betrayal. How in the hell am I betraying? I'm trying to do
Nice.
Yeah, because if it was, I would have used them like a paper towel or using the way a woman uses a wipe when she goes to the restroom. But I'm not like that. I'm not like that.
Nice.
That's that's the time they put you in oblivion. That's the time I found him. He found me, and then I found him.
Yeah.
And I believe in the music, so I play.
Well, what did you do with yourself during that downtime period where you just...
From 1988, that's when I walked away from the music scene for a variety of reasons, some of which you mentioned earlier about that inclusiveness thing and stuff. Metallica came here to play. Well, I think they played at the Pop Shop back in the day when they first came to Cleveland.
Yeah.
Same with Iron Maiden, and we were the better band that should have opened up for those guys.
Right.
Because
you drew
Black
more.
Death is the heaviest hitting band.
And you drew more.
Yeah.
Because back in those old days, you guys were a big draw.
Yeah, and then and then I had also, during the time when I was with these guys from school up until 88, August 88, I was getting flack from fans. Oh, you don't spend no time with your own people. And I said, of course I'm spending time with all my own people. I'm a headbanger, they're headbangers. This ain't shit. What the... This is the discrepancy? Get the... you wasted my time. Okay? So I went to do normal things.
Right.
I didn't go to church, but...
Why do I not believe you at all that you did normal things?
I tried. I tried it. Hey, how you doing, Bob? Cutting the grass.
Yeah, I can see you chasing somebody down the street with that lawnmower, dude. I don't see you sitting around cutting grass.
Well, see, that's the thing. This is the cool thing, too, about my look. I don't have to chase nobody. They get the fuck out the way. When I walk in the hood, I'm trying to do the Undertaker now that I've got the belt.
Hey, you got that TNA
maybe all this Jeepers Creepers nonsense will stop.
Right.
Jeez. Wrestling! Undertaker fan here. And besides, I was wearing it. Wait a minute, was the Undertaker out in 1983?
No.
Oh, well, I was doing the long coat and duster thing before the Undertaker. Okay. Yep. And the only reason I didn't wear a hat on the album cover, couldn't find one with the big brim.
Right.
Yeah.
And Undertaker came out in either 88 or 90 here in Cleveland.
Yeah.
On whatever pay-per-view. Royal Rumble.
Is that the one where he won the title and he only had it for like 3 days?
No, he lost. He was the $1 Million Man's buy-in.
when he, right.
It was the $1 Million Man's buy-in. Yep.
Before Paul Heyman. That's correct.
I don't have a belt, but I know a little wrestling myself.
Here, Paul. I share. You too can hold the belt and say, Cleveland Metal.
Nice.
Courtesy of Black Death Resurrected. Seeky Space Act.
We're coming to the stage.
Coming to the floor.
Exactly.
It is.
Here at the 78th Street Studio. This is Olathia exclusively here.
On your classic metal show.
Well, I'm not plugged into their board. So why don't you turn on your mic and maybe pick up the ambient?
Is it difficult to get fans that do not come in with a preconceived notion, and specifically the preconceived notion of thinking that you're a symphonic metal band
Right.
when you're absolutely not?
Yeah.
I'm sure when they see the pictures and they see the art and stuff, they're all, oh, cool, Nightwish.
Yeah.
And then it's like you put it on, it's like there's nothing Nightwish-ish about this.
Wishish. I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, New Blood is really fun, man, because you blows a lot of people's minds, and
Right.
I love it if you have a preconceived notion, or if you're just there to get drunk, whatever. What's cool is people will remember something if you give them an experience in a show, and that's
Sure.
what we try to do. So, and I don't care whatever somebody thinks. I'm just gonna do my thing. Some people are gonna dig it, some people aren't.
Right.
That's all right.
Sure. Is as a long-term member of the scene and somebody that's been active in the scene for a very long time, how have you seen it change? And is it a growth? Is it not a growth? Is it, it's a weird thing because
Yeah.
some people will tell you that it's bigger, but it's more underground. Other people will tell you it's much, much smaller. Some will tell you there's a lot of camaraderie. Some will tell you there's none. You've kind of bridged, of everybody that we've talked to, you're one of the few that has bridged through that. So what are you seeing?
Yeah, and as people have touched on earlier, the internet is a whole different ball game.
Right.
I think we still have that underground fire in Cleveland, and then some people latch on to, hey, there's things you can do with the social media to branch out and
Right.
and get more people on the train or expose yourself, and some people don't, and it all kind of works. But I think in the end, Cleveland is a metal town, has to do with you guys, with Bill Peters, and with the heart and soul that people have here. And we have such great clubs and venues that will support
Right.
live music of all genres that you can go to any night of the week, which is fucking amazing.
Right, yeah.
So, for me, I love it all. I mean, there's so many people you meet through the internet, but for me, the pure moment is actually being live and shaking someone's hand and talking to them. And I never forget that, because when I'm at a show, that's a pure experience. So I want to give that to somebody else.
Well, with the long game for Olathia, getting out there obviously is what you have to do today, because nobody's buying music today, unfortunately.
Yep,
I
you're
mean,
right.
that's just fact.
Yeah.
And with people who have been in the music business a while and they have family responsibilities and obligations, it gets tougher and tougher as you get older to get out there and play live or travel to play live. How far out do you guys go, or would you go, and what would it take, monetarily wise, to say, hey, we want you to come down to, I'm just going to throw out a city like Richmond, Virginia to play?
Yeah.
What would it take to say, well, that's worth it for us to do that?
Well, the thing about Cleveland is you can be a weekend warrior in a lot of good circuits, because you can get up to Chicago, to New York. You can really go to Toronto even. So you can do it pretty cost effectively. And for me, if you're going to give us a great crowd with great exposure, maybe put a little food in our belly and some good drinks in our hand, we can work something out at any
Not in
different
that
level.
order?
Yeah. Yeah, we can work something out, because you do have to get out on the road and expand yourself, because absolutely what you had said. And the flip side of the coin is that too, is you better make sure you're dialed into what you do and you're doing your marketing so that can appeal to someone, because if they're going to invest in you, you got to deliver.
Yeah, absolutely. So, again, how far out will you guys travel?
Oh, we'll go over the pond, man. We want to go to Germany. Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Well, let me just ask you something. Since travel to go international takes some money. So what would it take you guys to do that? Would you come out of your own pocket for the chance to do that?
Absolutely.
Well, again, I don't know. I'm asking the question.
That's a good question. And absolutely you would, because it's not just about the money in the end. You do this because you love this, and there's experiences that you get to have along the way in places with people and all that. And that is invaluable. You can't put a dollar sign on that. You know what I mean? So you got to say, hey, we're going to make it happen. We'll put you in out of our pocket because we want to do that and be a part of it.
How is it that you guys have not latched on yet to like Pure Steel Records or one of those companies that are, I don't even want to call them record labels anymore, because it's more like a distribution plus, I guess. It's not a true label, but How is it that you guys haven't got sucked into that? Is that a purposeful choice? Because, I mean, you guys are doing a very pro product.
Thank you.
Very much more pro than a lot of pro product that I actually get into my hands.
You actually just said it, because a lot of them are a distribution plus or something of that nature. And we can do so much ourselves DIY and through the internet and just in person with people that
Right.
you're going to have to really beat that for me to give up control. You know, because the product that we're doing, we all put a lot of heart and effort and work and time into that.
Sure.
And if you just turn it over to somebody else, it may not become that product anymore. So we're working towards that goal, but right now, you know, you got it. We're okay being DIY. It's fine.